You know, after Jason Todd died in the comics, Batman went through a pretty hard time. And this is the guy who helped bring Batman back to sanity. Because Batman needs a Robin. Let's talk about that next, here in the Poindexter Lounge. What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and it is good to be with you here in the lounge today because we're talking toys. I've been loving doing toy reviews now for a while, and we're just hitting it hard. I got one of these. It's a Red Robin DC Multiverse from Mattel. These came out last year. This was part of the last wave of figures, last couple waves of figures that came out from Mattel before McFarlane Toys took it over. And I've been waiting to open this bad boy because I've been wanting to share it with you. So hey, if this is your first time to the lounge, just know this. The Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where we can get together and nerd out over fun things like toys and games and sci-fi and comic books and superheroes and TV shows and movies. And right now in these troubling times, it's good to have stuff like this to fall back on and to have some fun because I know a lot of people are bored out of their minds. So if you're bored and you're looking for something to do, hey, watch this review. Here we go. All right, guys, so this is exciting. I love this version of Robin. I think that this is really cool. And of course, this is called Red Robin, and we'll get into that a little bit. If you're not really familiar with how that works, let's talk about it, okay? So Batman obviously had Dick Grayson, who was Robin, the very first Robin. Dick Grayson went on to become Nightwing. He left Batman and went on to help start the Teen Titans, became Nightwing, a totally different character. Then Batman felt that he still kind of needed a Robin, so he brought on a kid named Jason Todd, who had a really bad attitude and people actually hated him enough that, well, they ended up voting to see if he should die or not. So the Joker ended up killing Jason Todd, the second Robin, number 2. After that, Batman went a little crazy and was having a hard time, and Alfred told him, you know what? You need a Robin to keep you sane. You need somebody to be the flip side of that to keep you whole. And so Batman fought it and fought it and fought it, but this guy, Tim Drake, actually kind of pushed his way in and said, yes, I'm going to do this, kind of trained and became the next Robin. Well, after that, he kind of left and went and did his thing years later and became Red Robin. And this was his first incarnation of his suit, which is very much like Robin. But he became that. And then Batman later, his son, Damian Wayne, ended up taking over the mantle of Robin. We got one of those figures that we're going to go over in the coming weeks. But first of all, just kind of want to share this with you. This is Red Robin. Let's go ahead and take a look at his box. Up here, he is part of the Collect and Connect Killer Croc wave. You see the DC logo up at the top there. It's got this really cool holographic kind of gold Batman 80 years thing. And then the warning, this is for kids over 3 years old, and so I qualify. Here at the top, it says Red Robin with the DC logo. And of course, you can see the characters through the window. The window looks really nice. I really love the blue of the packaging, and I've said that every time. I love that. Over here, we got Tim Drake looking all nice as Red Robin from the comics. Down here, the DC logo with Multiverse, Mattel, and a bunch of warnings. On the right side of the box, we got the DC logo, and of course, Tim Drake as Red Robin and DC Multiverse at the bottom. Over here on the other side, we've got a closer picture of Red Robin with the DC logo, another DC logo, and Multiverse at the bottom. Here is the bottom of the box with all this cool, fun stuff that you can look at, and if you ever tried to find it, there's the UPC symbol, but they are not in stores anymore unless you find one that has been hoarding them in the back and keeping them for a time like this. A couple stores, I'm looking at you. Here is the back of the box, a lot of color, a lot of cool stuff here on the back of the box. This was part of the Killer Croc wave where you could collect all these figures here and build Killer Croc. I wasn't really thrilled with this figure just because he looks like the Incredible Hulk on crack or something. It just wasn't for me, but he looks all right. People like him. I've seen a lot of customs of this guy where they've, kind of shadowed him and stuff like that and made him look weathered, and he looks a whole lot better, but that green is just really bright, and yes, it does look like that in person. You could collect and connect these figures right here to form Killer Croc. You got KG Beast, you got Katana, you got Alfred, and I have that figure, and we're gonna go over that pretty soon. Got, of course, Red Hood, which we just did one of that. I've got a review of the Dick Grayson Batman, and of course down here is our figure that we're talking about today, Red Robin. Here's his bio and kind of what it talks about. He's got a nice picture up here. It says DC Rebirth, so this was when they did the Rebirth storyline. Red Robin, from sidekick to superhero, Tim Drake fights crime in Gotham City alongside the rest of the Batman family. So they got a whole Batman family of characters going on, which consists of a lot of different people. And I think it's pretty cool that Batman has this whole team, especially when people talk and act like Batman works alone. Yet he's got Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, Red Robin, and then there's like a whole cast of other characters that help them out. So it's cool that Batman has some support because he needs it. All right, guys, we're going to tear into this and open it now. That was a fail. All right, guys, we're going to tear into this and open it now. Came out easy. All right, this is what Tim, Red Robin, looks like in his bubble here. And you can see his cape does come through. It's a rubber cape and it comes through a slit right there, so you're gonna wanna be careful when pulling that out. Let's first pull out this arm. You can see that that is going to be a huge Build-A-Figure if the arm is as tall as one figure. He comes with his staff right there, came out nice. An extra set of hands. Just like that. And now the figure himself. And there we go. Okay, I can already tell you just by looking at this guy, this is gonna be one of my favorite figures ever. I don't have a lot of Robin figures. I got a couple. I got Damian Wayne that I still have to review, and I got this guy, and I got some Nightwing figures, but I have really learned to love the character of Robin. I need to get a classic Robin, Dick Grayson, but this Tim Drake version of Red Robin is phenomenal. I just love the look of it. He looks really nice. Let's take a look at his sculpting. We got here his mask and his hair. His hair kind of looks like mine when it's short. I kind of dig that. I love the collar. I love the black and the yellow and the green and the red. Looks all nice. I love this cape structure where he doesn't, have that typical old school Robin look where he kind of looked, like a circus performer. It's based on that, but it's more, it makes sense. It makes sense for this character to be a crime fighter. Yes, he's colorful, but you could put him next to Batman and it's just fine. So he's got the RR there for Red Robin. He's got some cool coloring there on his rib cage. Just to set it aside and make it look different. He's got these cool kind of markings here up on his shoulder. He's got a nice little forearm guard there. That's kind of cool with straps along the back, and that's on both sides. Nice little utility belt there with some stuff because you got to have a utility belt if you're going to be in the Batman family. He's got some cool shin guards and boots. Nice etching there. Here is the cape. It is rubber, but I like the way that it's styled. I like the length of it there. It looks pretty nice. Of course, it's black on the outside and yellow on the inside. Back is just pretty much standard for these figures. They interchange a lot of parts and just kind of paint them differently, and that's fine because they're all about the same size. So let's go ahead and look at the articulation of this figure. Here is his face. Go ahead and you can put the head all the way around. He does have some up and down to that head, so that's nice because you can look up a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. He does not go side to side though. His arm will go out like so. It does go around. There is a swivel at the bicep. He's got a single bending elbow, but it does bend up pretty well. It's a really good bending elbow. His hand, of course, goes around like so, and you can replace the hand simply by pulling it out. Now this is a hand that holds something, so we're gonna leave that one in there. The other ones are fists. The wrists do go back and forth, just like that. The other arm is exactly the same. One of these days we're gonna get an arm that does something completely different than the other side, maybe. I don't know. Bicep swivel, elbow. See that coming towards you. Of course, the hand goes around. He's got the classic Mattel ab crunch there. You see he's working on those abs really well. He does go around at the waist. What would Robin be without being agile and of course being able to do the splits? He's got a thigh swivel and this one's pretty tight. There it goes, okay. He's got a double bending knee joint. His foot will go up and down. And I really like this. This one actually goes quite a far away, so you can get it pretty straight. Of course, the other leg does the exact same thing. Goes around there, double bending knee joint, and the foot points straight out. Let me just say, this guy stands really well. If there's one thing that I can say about the Mattel DC Universe figures is they all stand pretty easily. They're not, kind of like off weight, where it's kind of weird. Most of them stand pretty well. Now, some of the women, it's kind of different because they wear like heels and stuff like that. But most of the men have this nice wide base for their feet and they stand pretty good. Let's take a look at his accessories. He comes with this staff right here, which is Robin's weapon of choice. And he comes with both a left and a right fist for punching. Random fists in the face. Gonna mess with me with fists. See here that the staff goes pretty well in his hands for posing. You may have to do some bending, but you want to be careful that you don't bend this too much because it's kind of fragile. But you can see here, I got him in a pretty good position for fighting. Here is the Killer Croc piece. As you can see, the arm, the wrist does go, oh man, that's tight. Oh, look at there. The wrist does have that kind of action there and does spin around like so. It's got a single bend joint for the elbow. He does have a bicep swivel. That's kind of cool for a big figure. And then of course the piece that actually goes into the body when you form Killer Croc. Here for comparison, we have the first three guys to be Robin. Of course, we've got Dick Grayson right here as Nightwing. We've got Jason Todd back here when he came back as Red Hood. And of course now we have Tim Drake as Red Robin. These figures look really good together. I love the color variations between the blue and the black, all the way to the classic Robin colors, and then of course the colors of the Red Hood. These are really cool figures. I mean, they're really good figures. Mattel did a good job with these figures, and I love the way that they look. The only complaint I really have about any of these figures is the Red Hood figure, because his guns don't come out, and I gotta get him some guns to actually make it make sense, because that's what he does. But it's cool to have these figures and to be able to display them together, and I can't wait to open Damian Wayne to put him along with these guys who were Robin. There you go, nerds and toy enthusiasts. That is my review of the Tim Drake DC Multiverse figure from Mattel. Do you like this figure? Did you get this figure when he was out in the stores? Or is this something that maybe you're still looking for? Do you have a different version of this figure? I would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment down in the comment section. Tell me about your toys and how you like to collect. Even if you don't collect DC stuff, if you collect Marvel stuff or any other kind of thing that you collect, I don't care. I would just love to talk to you about toys because I love toys. I have friends who have all kinds of different toys and we compare and contrast and talk about the stuff that we love. Also, follow me on social media for the same reason, because actually there we could talk more in depth about this stuff. I talk to people all week long about things on Twitter and of course Facebook and Instagram, and it's so much fun to meet new friends who share the similar interests that I have. Also, if you're in a position where you can, why don't you join our Patreon, because you get cool behind the scenes stuff and you get cool fun stuff, extra videos and live streams and things like that. And here are some of the people who are part of that. Thank you guys so much. You are awesome. Thank you for your support of the channel and everything we do here at the Poindexter Lounge. We also have a merch site where you can get cool merchandise with stuff on it and say, hey, I love the Poindexter Lounge. We'd love to have you do that as well. Until next time, my name is Enosh, aka Enosh Vet, saying I'll see you in the toy aisle. Never vote to kill Robin. Robin's pretty cool. Batman needs Robin. Hey guys, if you made it this far in the video, you are awesome. Thank you guys so much for your support. Please smash that like button and of course subscribe, and also hit that notifications bell so that you are aware when we put out new videos, which is like all the time. Thanks for being a part of the Poindexter Lounge, and we'll see you next time.